Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Bible with the Daily Dabber. Last time Bible chapter Z, we looked at chapter 7 of Judges. Gideon defeats the Midianites, but today, chapter 8 of Judges, Zebah and Zalmunna. Now, the Ephraimites asked Gideon, "Why have you treated us like this? Why didn't you call us when we went to fight Midian?" And they challenged him vigorously, but he answered them, "What have I accomplished compared to you? And the gleanings of Ephraim's grace better than the full great harvest of Abiezer. God gave Oreb and Zeb, the Midianite leaders, into your hands. What was I able to do compared to you?" At this, the rest settlement against him subsided. Gideon and his 300 men, exhausted yet keeping up the pursuit, came to the Jordan and crossed it. He said to the men of Sukkoth, "Give my troops some bread. They are worn out, and I am still pursuing Zebah and Zalmunna, the king of Midian." But the officials of Sukkoth said, "Do you already have the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna in your possession? Why should we give bread to your troops?" Then Gideon replied, "Just for that. When the Lord has given Zebah and Zalmunna into my hands, I will tear your flesh with desert thorns and briars." From there he went up to Peniel and made the same request for them. But they answered the men of Sukkoth had. So he answered to the men of Peniel, "When I return in triumph, I will tear down this tower." Now Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor with a force of about 15,000 men. All that were left of the army of the eastern people, 120,000 swordsmen, had fallen. Gideon went up by route of the nomads east of Nobah and Jogbeah and attacked the unsuspecting army. Zebah and Zalmunna, the two kings of Midian, fled, but he pursued them and captured them, routing their entire army. Gideon, the son of Joshua, then returned from the battle of the pass of Heres. He called a young man of Sukkoth and questioned him, and the young man wrote down for him the name of the 77 officials of Sukkoth, the elders of the town. Then Gideon came and said to the men of Sukkoth, "Here are Zebah and Zalmunna, about whom you taunted me by saying, 'Do you already have the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna in your possession? Why should we give bread to you exalted men?'" He took the elders of the town and taught the men of Sukkoth a lesson by punishing them with desert thorns and briars. He also pulled down the tower of Peniel and killed the men of the town. Then he asked Zebah and Zalmunna, "What kind of men do you kill at Tabor?" "Men like you," they answered. "Each one with the bearing of a prince," Gideon replied. "Those are my brothers, the sons of my own mother. Surely the Lord lives, if you have spared their lives, I will not kill you." Turning to Jephthah, his eldest son, he said, "Kill them." But Jephthah did not draw his sword because he was only a boy and was afraid. Zebah and Zalmunna said, "Come, do it yourself. As is the man, so is his strength." So Gideon stepped forward and killed them, and took the ornaments off the camels' necks. Gideon's ephod. The Israelites said to Gideon, "Rule over us, you, your son, and your grandson, because you have saved us from the land of Midian." But Gideon told them, "I will not rule over you, nor my son rule over you. The Lord will rule over you." And he said, "I do have one request, that each of you give me an earring from your share of the plunder." It was a custom of the Ishmaelites to wear gold earrings. They answered, "We'll be glad to give them." So they spread out a garment, and each of them threw a ring from his plunder into it. The weight of the gold rings he asked for came to 700 shekels. Not counting the ornaments, the pendants, and the purple garments worn by the kings of Midian, are the chains that were on the camels' necks. Gideon made the gold into an ephod, which he placed on Ophrah, his town. All Israel prostituted themselves. Prostituted themselves by worshipping it there. And it became a snare to Gideon and his family. Gideon's death. Thus Midian was subdued before the Israelites, and did not raise its head again. During Gideon's lifetime, the land had peace for 40 years. Jerubbaal, son of Joash, went back to home to live. He had 70 sons of his own, but he had many wives. His concubine, who lived in Shechem, also bore him a son, who he named Abimelech. Gideon, son of Joash, died at a good old age and was buried in the tomb of his father, Joash, in Ophrah of Abiezrites. No sooner had Gideon died than the Israelites again prostituted themselves to Baals. They set up Baal Berith as their god, and did not remember the Lord their God who rescued them from the hands of their enemies on every side. They also failed to show any loyalty to the family of Jerubbaal, that's Gideon, in spite of all the good things he had done for them. Gideon, more like Lydian. Ha! Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure. I am the DJ, and this is the end. Goodbye.